I'm here with Tracey Drake, who's just been appointed Chair of the Hockey Victoria Board, which is super exciting. We've just got a couple of questions. Firstly, could you tell us a little bit about your hockey journey on and off the field?
Starting with the big questions. I've played hockey my entire life. I think I started when I was probably about 9. We had an under 15 girls team. I just remember the first game I played, I was up at 6 a.m. dressed, ready to go. My parents played hockey, so it's always been in my family, and I've always played. It's always been part of my life. Off the field, my involvement in hockey probably started when I joined Altona in early 2000s, actually, and decided, I don't know what it was, but I think I like getting involved in governance and strategy, and joining the board was a really good opportunity to get some exposure to that. And also help the club at the same time. So, I've done all of the roles, really, I think, except probably umpiring. I'm not great on the umpiring, but I've tried just about everything else in hockey and just love it. So,
I was going to say, what was your first volunteering role, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I remember this. I was a coach. At the time I was playing for Melbourne Uni. I played for Melbourne Uni when I was at uni, and I coached an under 11s team. I was supposed to be the assistant coach, and the other coach just sort of ditched me and left me alone with it. But it was the most rewarding. It was so fun. Just having little kids who had no idea. At that stage, I think under 11s, I know it's different now, but the coaches could be on the field, so you could walk around and they put kids in position. And we had brothers in the team, and there was a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old, and the little 6-year-old would run his heart out, and then he'd come up to me and say, "Can I go off now?" And he'd go off. The team made the grand final that year. They won. Actually, they didn't win. It was an equal. They drew, so both teams got the flag.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. And our little 6-year-old nearly scored a goal, and it was the biggest thing ever. So it was just really nice to see the impact that you can have, immediately on young kids in hockey.
Yeah. What would you say your greatest achievement or most rewarding moment would be?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Does it be hockey related? I think greatest achievement. I got asked this question recently. That's exciting. We just scored. Yes. Well, can I say that? No. Yeah. No, good that we're 2-1 up.
Your achievement.
My achievement. I think honestly this opportunity to be chair of Hockey Victoria has to take the cake so far. I have had moments where in my junior days, there's one that I particularly remember. I was under 16 state team. The first year I was bottom age and I was in the main team, sat on the bench the entire time. It was awful. Yeah. The second year we went away, and I got a lot of game time, and I got player of the tournament, at least within our team. So the coach awarded the player of the tournament, and for me that's just something that sticks out, because it just goes to show, you don't ever give up. You just stay in it and you make the most of your opportunities. So for me, I think that was a reminder of probably a great achievement in hockey for me. There is another one which I think about. I don't know how many people would know hockey. I had a really serious road accident 12, 13 years ago now. My greatest achievement is actually coming back from that, and being able to get back on the pitch I never expected, but just to be able to come back and be walking and doing all of the things when, it was pretty close to not being able to do any of those things. So I have to be really proud of that. Yeah.
Good answer.
Thank you.
All right. On the HV board for 12 years, the AHC board for 20, and treasurer for a long stint, no less. That's not an easy portfolio. 85 state league caps, state league coach, Wildcats coach. I'm just going to throw that in there.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that.
You undertook an in-depth player member experience study off your own bat, and you're currently player coaching the women's threes.
Yes.
It's a long list, and I'm sure I've missed heaps. Why do you give back to the hockey community so much?
It's my family. I love it. That's it. There's two reasons. One, yes, my whole life has been hockey. My family is hockey. We're always here. I may as well. But also, I think I'm very fortunate. I'm very privileged with the opportunities I've had in life outside of hockey as well, and in hockey. So it's important that I do something with that. So that's why I take on all of the roles, because I can. And I think it's great for people that have those opportunities to use them to the best advantage. In a sport that isn't, it's not AFL, it's not cricket. It relies very heavily on volunteers, so we all have to do our bit. Yeah. And I get so much out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First female chair of Hockey Victoria since they formed in 2003. What is the significance of that achievement?
It's huge. It really is huge. Hockey Victoria has been doing a lot of work in the last, since I've been on the board, actually, 12 years, on gender diversity and balance, and has been really pushing the community to have gender equal boards, to have female presidents on boards, but it's never done it itself. So, honestly, there weren't any moves to do that necessarily. So I think it's great. As soon as the opportunity came up to put my hand up, whether I had the time to do it or not, didn't matter. I think it was really important. I was very vocal about making sure that the next chair was going to be female. Mm-hmm. And that's where we are, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
And you touched on the importance of gender balance on boards. Prior to 2019, it was only 45% of sporting codes had gender balanced boards. What are some of the positives you've seen in having gender balanced boards?
It's just a difference in perspectives. I think you get used to. It's really hard to describe if you don't have balance what it feels like, and until you get balance and you see what that does. There's a really good example. Just on Friday, we had the Hockey Victoria Women and Girls Breakfast, and I had the opportunity to give a speech there as the incoming chair. The chairs always, give a bit of an address. I had the opportunity at that breakfast to stand up and say, this was my experience as a female growing up playing hockey. I had a father who taught us to play like boys, my sister and I. You have to play like boys. You have to be tough. You have to be strong. I'm like, well, we can be those things, and we don't have to be boys.
Yeah.
And I don't think he realised the impact that has. We obviously bounced back from that. We took that and we did as much as we could with it, but it still sends a different message.
Yeah.
And for me to be able to stand up and say that, you wouldn't have a male president standing up saying that. And it's really important for the girls that we're trying to promote in the sport, that they see, be what you can see. They're not going to think that they can achieve these things if they don't see the role models. Yeah. So it's really important to have that.
Yeah, or it'll be a lot harder. Yeah. Or a lot longer journey.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can try, and it's we've got great men in the sport as well who promote gender balance, but they can't be the gender balance.
Yeah. Cool. I won't ask you that last question.
Thank you.
I did want to say something though. That's not good. Still on go up. I missed one. Okay.
2 minutes to go.
Okay. Just on a personal note, I wanted to thank you for being such a great role model for me growing up, but I'm sure much more of the women's section as well feels the same way. You're extremely hardworking, kind, resilient, and extremely generous, and we're all so proud of this achievement, and we know you're going to make such a positive impact in the role.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. That's really nice.